guys ready?
What's the plan, Bobby?
We're winging it, Jerry.
You always winged it. We're gonna get killed.
What you mean, we, white boy? You ready?
Here we go.
Welcome into the OG NBA betting show. It's looking like Babano and myself right now, and it's a large slate. So don't want to waste too much time. But Babano, how you had a good Super Bowl weekend? How you doing today?
Yeah, Skee, it was a good Super Bowl weekend. Overall, we made some money. We had a mild profit in the Super Bowl. We had Seattle team total over. Thank you to that but scoop and score, the sack fumble, a return for a touchdown by Uchenna Nwosu in the fourth quarter to put that game over the team total, which was great. We cashed more of the props than we didn't, which was good to see as well. So profitable Super Bowl. And I'm happy about that. But gosh, what a horrible horseshit football game. I mean, it was absolutely brutal to watch. So I'm happy made money, but I just wish it was a little more entertaining. I am a football fan, too. I would have loved to see an entertaining game. Unfortunately, we didn't. But credit to the Seattle defense. And, boy, if you're the New England Patriots, better work on that offensive line. I don't like that Drake May's taking all the heat. Could he have played better? Yeah, but what's he supposed to do? He was dead to rights half the time because of that terrible offensive line. They couldn't protect worth a shit last night, so they deserve some blame too, Skee.
Yeah, I agree mostly with that was a weak ass Super Bowl game.
Yeah,
but if you're somebody like BJ who had under 45.5, you probably enjoyed that game until the fourth quarter.
I had a small piece of the over, but once it hit 45, but I'll tell you, I'm even shocked I even had a chance to win the over, and if not for the holding penalty on that Kenneth Walker, it was crazy. It would have went over the total. But the under was the clear right side, absolutely.
Who ended up winning MVP? My bad. Before we get started, was it?
I had a piece of that. I took a shot, Skee, that neither quarterback would win MVP. They were the favorites, Sam Darnold and Drake May. I had a small piece of a couple Seahawks because I like Seattle to win the game. I took a little on Shaheed for MVP, and I did dabble in Walker MVP plus 850. So it was nice to be able to hit that as well.
Nice work. I'm not going to say I'm a miss football.
First running back, by the way, to win Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis, Denver Broncos, 1998 with John Elway. That great
I remember
Denver
him.
team. Yeah.
I was really young, though, but I definitely remember him. That's the John Elway team?
Yep. Yeah, that was toward the end of Elway's career. That's when he won that suit. Finally got that elusive Super Bowl.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. All right, let's get started. We got a lot of games on the slate for today. First up, it looks like Pistons and Hornets opened up -2.5 now. Total opened up 223.5 and it's down to 221.5. During this, no, actually, I got to refresh this because how this goes.
There's times I'm worried if I didn't refresh the lineup since 8 seconds ago, I've missed something.
Yeah, that's how it is nowadays. During is probable. Holland and Smith are out. McNeely and Kobe White not going to be out there for Charlotte. Charlotte has been playing well. I mean, no, Detroit has been good. Charlotte at the house seems very, very appealing here, Babano. Is that how you see it?
I'm riding them at this point, Skee. I was on Charlotte against Atlanta. That was a really good game on Saturday night. Charlotte pulled it out, 9-0 straight up, 7-2 against the spread. The last 9 games for this Charlotte Hornets team. Slight home dogs. And I remember this feels like the spot, too, that I remember with Charlotte. They played San Antonio. You got a great San Antonio team, one of the best teams in the West, rolling into Charlotte. Big statement game, right? Litmus test for this young Hornets team. And they passed that test with flying colors. They beat the living daylights out of San Antonio in that. They led start to finish and beat them on their home court. This feels very similar. Respect to Detroit. Great team. Number 1 in the East right now. But Charlotte proved against San Antonio recently at home they can measure up. I think they prove it again. I think they win the game. Detroit's not been a great road favorite as well this year. This hasn't been a great role for them. So, yeah, loving the Hornets again.
All right, good stuff on that. I think I'm out on this game, but I do lean with you on the Hornets. Bulls and Nets opened up 2.5, now 3.5 or 4, and down from 222.5 to 219. Looking at who's available. For the Bulls, I'm sorry, who's going to be out? Smith is questionable. Giddy and Jones are doubtful. Collins out. Igor and MPJ are both out. The Nets finally got right, Babano. Um, I can't trust them, especially without MPJ. I think the Bulls have the better talent out there on the floor, and that in a game like this could be very well enough to cover. What do you think?
They will. I mean, this is to me, I don't want to lay 4 with the Bulls. The Nets without MPJ and only getting 4. It's not like I'm rushing to bet them. So cue it up, Skee. Back with this motherfucker.
Is that for your health?
Yeah, it's perfect for that game, actually. Jazz and Heat. This is one of those totals that just, 4-point move, 4.5. I mean, it's down to 240 at a few shops there. Sidewise, it did also come down from 9 to 6.5 on the Miami side. You look at the injury report, Keontae George, Harkless, Kevin Love, all out. For the Heat, Bam is probable. Powell is questionable. Larson is doubtful. Still no Tyler Hero. Yeah, no Powell, no me with the Miami Heat, and no Keontae George. I don't really want to bet the over or anything. Last time we talked about this Heat team, though, I did point out that there's going to be a point of emphasis, on taking away the threes for Boston and playing better defense. They did that. I can't help but think that Utah will probably struggle to score without George out there, and that the Heat are still focused on defense regardless how it plays or not. I'm thinking about a Utah team total under in this game, Babano, but I don't know. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, my initial lean was over, but I had a piece of Miami, Washington on Super Bowl Sunday yesterday over the total, and that thing just died because Washington stopped scoring, and Miami completely put the clamp down defensively on them. And you mentioned it, the 2 games since that Atlanta loss where they kind of got after, Eric Spoelstra kind of got after them. We got to start to guard people a little bit better, especially along the perimeter. And they played a great defensive game against Boston. I know they lost, but not because of their defense. They played really to keep Boston to under 100 points in that game was very impressive. We were on Miami in that spot, I remember. That was, I think, Friday. And Miami should have won that game. I mean, they were up big most of the way, but they still got the point spread cover. They were getting 6.5 there. But again, against Washington, my over lost because Miami's defense turned it up again. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to take the over. I want to bet Utah over, but you mentioned George. He's a big piece of the offense. So I guess at the end of the day, I lean Jazz slightly. They do have a rest advantage here. They've covered 4 in a row. They took Orlando right down to the wire the last time they played. So I kind of feel Jazz plus the points is the right side here, but it's nothing strong. I don't know if I'll even bet it, but I do lean a little bit to the Utah side.
All right, this Bucks and Magic game went from 9.5 to 10.5 or 11, depending where you look. Total went up from 217.5 as high as 220.5 for the Magic. Pretty healthy. Just Castleton out. For the Bucks, Cam Thomas, we're seeing if he's going to be out there tonight. He's questionable. No Giannis, no Taurean Prince. You remember, Babano, I asked you how many times the Magic have been favored by this much? Or I asked everybody, and it was only one other time before the last game versus the Nets. And they were favored that big for a reason. They smoked them from beginning to end. I can't help but think that this is what this line is telling me as well. Do you see it that way with a healthy Magic team?
I have not bet this yet, but if Cam Thomas is in, I'll be on Milwaukee. It's just I can't trust Orlando laying this many. They're certainly playing better lately. There's no question. But again, you get 48 minutes of great basketball from them. You didn't see that against Utah on Saturday. In fact, they were screwing around a lot in that game, and kind of asleep for 3 quarters. Then they finally turned it on and ended up coming back to beat Utah. And that's Utah, who's had issues all year on the road. But it's not the easiest decision to back Milwaukee. This is just, I know for a fact, Orlando, not a team I overly trust laying this kind of number, although you just mentioned the time that they were laying this many previously and they blew the doors off the opponent that night. So maybe they do that again here, but I'll check the lineup closer to tip off. If Thomas is in, I'll play Milwaukee for something, probably something small.
Zoned up, it's the same mic I use every day. I just, I'm hungover, bro. I can't talk louder than I talk right now. I'm just trying to get through the games and do the show the best I can. So, my bad.
By the way, I just realized my mic was on the wrong setting. There we go.
They said yours was good though.
Yeah, no, now it sounds a lot better. No doubt about it. Yeah, that was the wrong mic setting. That was through the computer before.
Kings Pelicans. I think this is a perfect time for me.
Is that for your health?
Pelicans are past though.
Yeah, I did. I laid it with the Pelicans. Small bet, right? They haven't been favored like this really all season. In fact, I
it's
think
up to 9 now.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, Sacramento's not backable for me right now.
Yeah.
And I like the way New Orleans is playing at the moment. I took New Orleans. I took them on the weekend. And impressive. They beat Minnesota. It was damn impressive what they were. And we'll get to Minnesota in a second, a team that you just cannot lay points with right now. But nevertheless, I think when you look at this New Orleans team, it's a smaller bet, though, right? They haven't been laying 7.5, 8 points very often, but they're very capable with the way they've played better basketball lately. Even Zion's been all right lately. Trey Murphy's balling right now for the Pelicans. I think this is one spot they can win by double digits. So only because this is not a team we're used to seeing laying this many points, I'm keeping it a small bet with the Pelicans here, minus the points, but small bet on the over as well. I'm not totally in agreement that total dropped.
All right, this next one, definitely injury report. Open 6, 8.5 now out there. Total 235.5 was the opener. 237.5 is what we're looking at now. Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, both questionable. Kuminga's still not going to play yet for Atlanta. For Minnesota, Terrence Shannon Jr. out, but everybody else looks like they're good to go. Man, I wanted to. I mean, Babano, but we both feel the same way about this Timberwolves team. Like, we don't really like them laying points. It's not a good spot for them. Second game of a back-to-back, 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6. Hawks with the rest advantage. But it just, man, Jalen Johnson and Daniels questionable. I just can't get over that. It's Hawks or pass, but I need those guys in.
I don't. Give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta plus the points. This team lost to New Orleans on their home court. And then, of course, yesterday, that was supposed to be a bounce back spot against the Clippers. And what did we see yesterday? We saw, total, blowout loss on their home floor. Kawhi went nuclear in that game for the LA Clippers. This could steam up to 10, and they could rule Daniels and, they could Jalen Johnson both out. I still like Atlanta. I'll take Atlanta, whatever best number I'll get in this game. This is a team that can't be laying points. Their record as a favorite this year, it's like 14-25, I think, against the spread as a favorite, just as a favorite overall. And you know what Atlanta is a road dog, 11-6 against the spread this year. Atlanta as a road dog. They've been feisty. They've been competitive in this spot. I had Charlotte against Atlanta, and it was a tough decision to take Charlotte, but I've been on Charlotte a bunch, Skee. I said I got to keep riding them. But I think Atlanta is going to be a team we can make money on moving forward as well with the Atlanta Hawks. And they made me sweat in that game. They played a heck of a game against Charlotte. Went down to the wire. Charlotte made a couple big buckets at the end, got a couple stops at the end, and that was the difference. But Atlanta played a hell of a game. And to me, I still like a lot of what I'm seeing here from the Atlanta Hawks. Okongwu's played well lately in and around that, at the 5 spot, in and around the paint, in and around the rim. He's been very good lately for the Atlanta Hawks. And this Minnesota team, that was supposed to be a bounce back for them yesterday against the Clippers, a bounce back spot after losing as a favorite to the Pelicans. And then they shit the bed again. Now it's a back-to-back, and it's third game in 4 nights, and laying this number, even with Johnson and Daniels, questionable here for Atlanta. Give me Atlanta here, plus the points. By the way, they've covered 4 or 5 straight, I believe, in the series, head-to-head versus Minnesota as well. So just wait it out. No rush, because clearly the money's coming in on Minnesota. I'll be on it. I'll happily take the points I'll get with Atlanta right before tip-off. Happily. Oh, and I like the over a little bit as well.
Yeah, Nucky, that's what's held me off, Nucky. I felt that same feeling, and something just felt off to me, and I needed more time to handicap today either. Like Nucky.
Well, the thing is,
I've
I've been against them a couple times lately, Minnesota. I was on New Orleans. I didn't touch. Actually, I was on the Clippers yesterday too. It was a small bet. I wish I had bet more on the Clippers yesterday, but I did have a piece of the Clippers. So I've been cashing again. Like if you're just jumping in now tonight against Minnesota, maybe you stay off. But if you've been winning the last few against Minnesota, you're playing with the house's money anyway. Just take Atlanta again. What's the worst that could happen?
Hey, Nucky, I was still having a good time at 3 a.m. and drinking, doing that stuff. And I said, let me look at the card. The first game that stood out to me was this game.
Holy, you know that Atlanta's 9-1 against the spread against Minnesota. It's 9 of the last 10 they've covered against the T-Wolves as well.
I hear you, Bobano.
I'm saying, yeah, be careful. This is going to be one where the public is going to run to bet the team that's got all the starters in and a couple guys injured on the other side, and they'll run to bet Minnesota, and it'll be a dogfight. It'll be a buzzer beater or something. That's what I'm open for.
All right. Cavs and Nuggets. Opened up -1 for Cavs. Little flip. I'm seeing mostly ones for Denver now, but one shop has a -2.5 for Denver. Total has gone up from 232.5 as high as 239.5. Proctor, Tyson, Wade, all questionable. Mobley and Strus are both out. For the Nuggets, Braun, Jokic, both probable. Jamal Murray, questionable. No Bates, Gordon, Jones, or Watson. I just don't trust this Cavs team yet. I really don't. I don't think they played great in that first game. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And I would really, really want Jamal Murray in, obviously. But I do think the Nuggets are the right side here. But Beno, what do you think?
I lean Nuggets. I love the over. I mean, it's taken a huge, huge hit up. We saw the first game with Harden, and sure enough, here's Cleveland again. Offensively, they looked all right with him, but defensively, it fell off. I mean, Sacramento scored a bunch of – Sacramento had a couple people out. I don't think Levine played against Cleveland the other night. And there's Sacramento still lighting it up against Cleveland. I'm telling you, with Harden in there, they're not being this great defensive team, this Cleveland. So I think Denver is going to score. Cleveland should score too. I mean, Denver just gives up points right now. That's all there is to it. I mean, when they win games like against Chicago, they're still giving up a shit ton of points. The games are flying over the total. So I think bettors had it right. This total went up significantly from 234, 235 up to 239, 239.5. That's what I like here. I think there's a lot of points over the total for me.
All right, good stuff. Thunder and Lakers. A lot of movement on this one too, right? Open 4, now 7. I see anywhere between 6.5 and 7.5. So absolutely line shop, depending on what you like, per usual. But just letting you know those lines are out there. SGA, AJ Mitchell, both out for the Lakers. No Luka, no Thiero. They're gonna need a lot of Austin Reeves, and he can do it. He did it the other night, but this OKC defense is pretty tough, and the Twin Towers, I think, could be a problem for the Lakers tonight. It's OKC or pass for me in this game, Abano. What do you think?
Yeah, two things I wanted to mention. One about what Mark Nick is saying. Mobley out. I forgot to mention that about that Cleveland-Denver over. It's the big man being out syndrome, right? What do we always say? Say this with Anthony Davis for years. When a guy like Mobley's out, less defense, quicker pace, we also expect that from Cleveland as well. So that's another reason I like the over. And I forgot to mention that Minnesota game. I like Atlanta, but you have to bet Ayo Dosunmu, Ayo Technology over points. And he's gone over his point prop in 8 straight games. 8 straight, including yesterday against the Clippers. So Ayo Dosunmu over points just keeps on cashing right now. He cashed in his last few games with the Bulls, and it's cashed in his first game yesterday as a member of the Timberwolves. So Ayo over points. I do like that. As far as this game, OKC Lakers, no SGA. I went back and looked. How have the Thunder done straight up and against the spread without SGA? It hasn't been great. Losing ATS record without SGA. How have the Lakers done without Luka Doncic? Believe it or not, a little bit better ATS than the Thunder have done without SGA. So I think the Lakers at this number are worth a shot, quite honestly, plus the points here in this game. Now that it's ballooned up to 7. I know Luka's not on the court, but now it just means AR-15 is going to have a lot more opportunity, and he's capable of picking up the slack, in my opinion. And the problem is, too, for the Thunder, Jalen Williams does not look great since he's been cut. Something's missing there. Something's off with him right now. And without SGA, that becomes a guy that's got to have it. He's got to be able to step up and have a big game for the Thunder in these kind of situations. Not sure he can right now. So I'm going to be on LA here. I like them getting this number now.
All right, Babano going with the Lakers. Last game, I think, for today. Yeah, Grizzlies. No, not the last game. Second to last. Grizzlies, Warriors opened up 7.5, now 9.5. Total came all the way down from 226.5 to as low as 218. Let's take a look at those injuries. For Grizzlies, Clayton Jr. is questionable. No Aldama, Clark, Edie, or Morant. For Golden State, Will Richards is questionable. No LJ Cryer, Steph Curry, or Porzingis all out. You do get the Spencer Bros playing each other in this game. Outside of that, I mean, this is another one where I was like, Golden State minus 7.5. This is the one I looked at last night too, and I'm like, I would be one in Memphis. Like, what is Golden State doing laying all these points without Steph? And then it continues to climb to 9.5. That makes me less bullish on whatever my opinion was. I'll tell you that. What do you think here, Babano?
Yeah, I'm going to take Memphis for something small. You're right. I am concerned about, it is a bounce back spot for Golden State. I just don't think they're very good right now. They've lost 3 of their last 4 at home. They get pretty much bombed by Detroit, bombed by the Sixers, back-to-back home games. They beat Phoenix, but Phoenix has been no great shakes the last little bit. And then they play the Lakers and they lose 105-99. They're just, again, there's a lot of this right now for me in the NBA. Do you really want to be laying almost double digits with the Golden State Warriors right now? We've talked about this kind of shit with Orlando. We've talked about this kind of stuff with Minnesota. And the answer is no. I don't want to lay this many points with the Golden State Warriors right now. So it's Memphis or pass. If this thing hits 10, I'm going to take Memphis, though. It's just too much to me.
Yeah. Sometimes, when I can't make sense of the line, it's hard for me to bet on that game. Yeah, that's just how I feel about this one. Last one on the slate, and I didn't even get a banner, so I'll get it up there. Sixers and Blazers. There we go right there. Got it. Opened up -2. Now it looks like -3. Total opened up 230.5. Looks like 231.5. So I got to fix this total. So it was this low, I think, this morning, and has gone back up now. Injury report. Maybe that has something to do with it. Is Embiid? He's still questionable. Grimes has been added to the injury report as questionable too now. So both of those guys in danger of missing. For the Blazers, Scoot is probable. Denny and Robert Williams are both questionable. Murray, Sharp, Tybal, all out. But I know the Sixers have performed really well at home. As a road favorite. Whether it's team total, whether it's covering, that has been their role so far this year. I'm worried about, I think they're playing their 5th straight road game. I don't love that. I think that's why this line is so short. But other than that, this has been the Sixers' role. Do you think it'll be a winner tonight?
Yeah, I did bet Philly here. I just went money line with Philadelphia. Its money line was at least earlier in the day. I got -140 on it. It's -145. Looks like the best price right now with Philly on the money line. I think they win this game. Portland had started out the year awesome, as home favorites, terrific, or home underdogs rather. They've been very good as home underdogs for the full season. But the last 3, they're actually 0-3 straight up and against the spread as home underdogs. Raptors, Cavs, Suns. They lost all 3 games as home dogs. So they're kind of regressing a little bit, not quite as good of late as home underdogs. Remember early in the year how automatic Portland was as home underdogs? Not the case lately. And just to me, I think right now, Philly playing some good basketball, 6-1 straight up, 5-2 against the spread their last 7 games. I think that's got a chance to continue here as well. They've actually won 2 straight by double digits here in Portland. So they've had success in this building before. I actually think all things considered, it's a fair price. Reasonable number here with the Sixers to back them. So I went money line here, Philadelphia.
All right, good stuff. Dan saying the party boy angle. I'm not sure what he's talking about. I went to go check The Laker game. I don't know if he's talking about the hockey game I used to talk about. I don't know which one he's talking about. All right, that's the card for today. Man, I already told you guys what kind of day it is for me. So I don't think I have one, Babano. I don't think I have a best bet today because
No
I haven't
best
made
bet
any.
for Skee. It means yours truly, the only one. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't made one. So, Babano, I'm gonna just kick it to you. Let them know how to get to the window and take us home.
Let's go to that first game we talked about. They're just playing too well right now, and they showed the capability to get up for a really good team coming into town when they beat the San Antonio Spurs, and they led that game start to finish. They dominated that game start to finish to this team against San Antonio recently, and I think they will welcome the chance to take down the number one team in the Eastern Conference tonight on their home floor. Give me the Charlotte Hornets. They're red hot. Charlotte +3 against Detroit. 9 straight wins. I wouldn't be shocked if they make it 10 straight here tonight. Detroit's been a little spotty on the road compared to at home. I think Charlotte gets it done. Charlotte +3 against Detroit for my best bet. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out. The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.
You guys ready? It's the plan, Bobby.
We're winging it, Jerry.
You always wing it. We're gonna get killed.
What you mean, we, white boy?
You ready? Here we go.